Meteorologist Joe Bastardi with your Go Salt Winter Midweek Weekly Special. All right, because from Friday through Sunday, this is what our snowfall looks like. Now it's a slop storm again in the Northeast. Well, last storm wasn't a slop storm; it was just a warm snow event in a lot of places. But this is going to have sleet and freezing rain with it, and it's mainly north of I-80 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then when you get into southern New England, things really start to, uh, become more snow oriented. But it's going to be a messy, messy situation this weekend, even in New York City and I think to Long Island. The sleet, sleet is a dreadful option because it means you have to keep, well, maybe not if you're interested in selling salt, but you have to keep putting salt on the road because the sleet is capable. Snowflakes will fall and melt. Sleet pellets aren't melting. All right. And one of the most hideous situation is, pardon me for indulging you here, is to get a coat of sleet, put snow on it, and then pack it down with more sleet. Okay. There's the freezing rain, maybe mainly over the interior. Now, I want to look at what is so impressive down the road to me. And we would say March 1st to April 15th, 5 below normal, 18 inches of snow. Uh, the 18 inches, by the way, gets to start when I made that forecast for you. That was back in February for the rest of the winter at Central Park. I was a little bit, you know, raised a few eyebrows at Central Park, despite having all snow, only had 1.9 inches. You know, there's a difference between snowfall and cumulative amounts of snow on the ground, right? You could have a lot of snowfall and may not stick, but that was a 4 or 5 inch snowfall in New York City. They only counted as 1.9. But once you got outside the city, you saw what actually happened. So, uh, I've always had a little bit of a debating point with the inconsistencies and observations. But what I want to show you here is the Mann-Julian oscillation for the first time in winter. And generally, here's what you could say: 4, 5, 6, and 7 are warm phases. 8, 1, 2, and 3 are cold phases. We finally have changed this pattern. Those of you following me on Weather Bell have been watching me analyze this since early February as to why the March, the March into April idea was worthy to be considered. It's easy to just give up and say, well, same thing's going to happen. The same, we're not in the same, to quote Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. So this is very different. Um, and what's happening is you got the Arctic oscillation going negative, the EPO going negative. That's very important. When it's positive, it means there's warm air flooding North America. When it's negative, it means that you've got a lot of cold air flooding North America. The NAO is negative, which is very, very important at this time of the year. It's the reason why we just got the snow. You saw it was mild before and it still snowed. And what happened is when the NAO is negative, these storms come toward the coast and they run into a north-south wall of cold air offshore. I know that's hard to think, but the cold air came back in from the east with this last feature because it was nice and warm the day before, right? So, and here's something we have not seen this all winter. So there's three things going on here for by the time we get to March 8th or 10th. The PNA is positive, the EPO is the MJO is in a favorable phase, and the WPO is strongly negative. And this is why when we looked at the winners of 13, 14, 14, 15, it was that Western Pacific oscillation going negative that sort of controlled the shooting match there. So, I'm trying to explain why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. This is the European means for March 10th and the European means for March 14th. Both of them have extreme potentials for major snows. I'm going to show you what the five-day mean looks like. Here's the 5-day mean for March, 9th through 14th or 15th or whatever it is. You see that? Now I want you to look at what that looked like in 1984 for the big superstorm at the end of the month. Now, keep in mind, in '84 we had two snowstorms. Before that, we had one on the 9th and we had one on the 13th. But this storm was, was the night the Baltimore Colts tried to escape from Baltimore, and they got stuck in Hagerstown with 10 inches of snow there. Just a tremendous storm across much of the Northeast. I still believe that Bruce Springsteen wrote his song "Cover Me" in '84 during this storm. Outside, the rain, the driving snow, I could hear the wild winds blow. The seawall got breached at Rumson, New Jersey. All right, and with good reason. When you have 968 millibar lows over Salisbury moving east northeast, there's usually a problem. And this is what the that week looked like temperature wise. Now this is the other one. This is the ultimate northeast snowstorm in March. This is March 1960, and March 4th there's the 968 low south of Nantucket, and you can see the track, what the track looked like there. And this is the temperature pattern. That is the coldest opening on record to March in U.S. records. Okay, over the east and central part of the United States. And here we go. Let's show what the European is showing during that time. And you can see the amount of cold it has. Everything that's green is greater than 8 below normal. This is 20 below normal in the northern plains of the United States. So, and I have one more thing I wanted to add if I can find it, but maybe I can't find it. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you over here. That to see an ensemble run look like this for a 5-day period, it is telling you it's seeing something big going on. You see, it's 10 days out and it's seeing, what's the normal snowfall 5-day period in mid-March? I mean, it's next to nothing, right? So when we look at this, there, now I've got it on, it's seeing the thread over here. Okay, so this is a little bit long-winded. And it's long-winded because, okay, we see the storm coming this week, but what just happened and whatever happens this weekend is gravy, because the real guts of this pattern is still a week to 2 weeks away and may try to roll into April. Remember April '82, right? Okay, if you lived around New York City, you had back-to-back snowstorms in April '82 also. All right, that's it for, I'll talk about that later. That's it for now. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.